What's up, everybody? Jason from Jason's Exotic Reptiles. We got Cynthia here. We're at the Manchester, New Hampshire Reptile Expo, and I'm going to be picking up some feeders. I'm going to be checking out some things, looking for some unique projects. I've been asking you guys, what do you want to see me breeding? So, looking to pick up something a little different this year and see what we can come up with.
So let's go.
I'll keep you guys posted. Alright, so we got my buddy Corey here. He's going to show us some of the stuff he brought to the show. Check out this guy. Super fire. Friendly. Look at that. 3 books.
Oh wow.
Grab some feeders now. Alright, what's up, everybody? We're back from the Reptile Show. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I picked up in addition to some of the feeders. So, again, as I said in some of my initial videos, this is my new snake protocol. I do this with all snakes. I bought these things from people who I know personally, so I know they gave me good stuff and good prices, all that good things. So I'm going to start pulling these guys out, and I'm going to show you what I have and the new snake protocol again. So I have about 5 snakes today. First one, let's see, is this guy here. So these guys just came in. You can't see behind me, but I have them kind of in a box that as soon as this comes in, box is going outside. Not so much worried about the people who I bought them from, but more so just the show itself. People touching you, people touching snakes, shaking hands and things like that. Then I touch the bag. So that's going to be important and key to when I bring snakes in. So here's the first guy I got. This bag is going to go right into the garbage after. I'm not going to keep this, or I could wash it, but you don't want to just put this on the floor of your snake room. So first snake I got is a Kyle Sunglow male. I'm going to keep him soaking for a little bit. Again, here's your snake, and I'm just going to fill this up with some fairly warm water. I'm going to let it soak it. This snake, about this size, probably about half an inch to an inch of water. This bin's got a little lip in it, and where I'm going to keep them is kind of on a curve. So first maybe hour or so, keep this snake in all by itself. I don't know if you can get a little closer, take a look at what I'm doing in the bin here. So this is just kind of a little stand I'm using. But, again, you see the snake's body. It's never really always covered in water. But this is how I'm going to keep the snake for the next hour or so like this. Then I'm going to add some Dawn dish soap. And we'll come back. I'll show you that once I do that. But I'm going to add some Dawn dish soap. So that's the first male I got. Really pretty. I'm hoping I can get him breeding this year. Second snake. You see here, I'm going to start stacking these bins, so it's going to get harder and harder for you guys to see me. So these are the snakes I grabbed. And second snake, what do we have? Alright, so that's this guy here. Again, same thing with the pillowcases. These came from another reliable guy, JPC Boas. Check them out if you haven't. Really like the stuff they're doing. Always take good care of me, so definitely take a look at their website. They got some real cool stuff. So this first guy is just a hypo head albino, and it's possible Kraken. So I don't know if I know you guys probably see Kraken floating around on the internet. JPC, CV Exotics, those guys really kind of started. Also Nerd, I really think it originated with some nerd animals, and I'm not sure what caused it, but I'm pretty positive about, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, is when the Kraken kind of started. And since then, we've just, JPC and Rich from Da Vinci Boas out of Florida, those guys, Jason Chapman, bred a first super. And since then, we've been really just trying to figure out what it is. I have a lot of stuff in my collection, a lot of Kraken stuff in my collection because I have a lot of nerd boas. So Kevin and I do a lot of things with boas together. It's a good working relationship and good friendship. So the last boa I grabbed, let me see. I might spin this thing around for you guys. So the last boa I grabbed is the same thing again. Pull this guy open. And then I got a couple at the end that I'm pretty excited about. Never worked with these guys before, never kept them. It's actually my first time I've really even made the plunge for it. This guy right here, let's stay focused on him for right now. I'm excited for the last two. So this is same thing as the first one. Very happy to be out of the bag. So this is again a hypo possible Kraken. And this one I do believe will be Kraken. I don't know if you can take a look at those eyes, but they're really interesting looking. Patterns on the body is super clean, almost jungle-like. So I think that's a cool snake. I'm hoping I can get breeding this year and start proving out some more Kraken stuff. So I do have a lot of Kraken females, not a ton of Kraken males. I've made supers in the past, which are pretty much a completely patternless snake with some side medallions on it. Really cool snake because it doesn't take out all the patterns. So there's a lot of potential for that. In addition to that reduction in pattern, it gives you a real nice glow and almost a pastel or just a really cool looking bright snake. So that's this guy here. Then the last two, I'll move these boxes out of the way, show you them. They're already kind of in bins, but I'm pretty excited about them anyways. So the last two here, a little smaller, a little change from the boas that I usually breed. And I'm hoping I can get these guys going this year. So the last snakes I have here, my new project, are some Mandarin rat snakes. So I don't know if you can check that out. So these guys are from China. Never have I had a chance to work with them. So I'm really looking forward to this. Looking forward to checking them out. But what a beautiful snake that is. This is the male. Very pretty. So I'm going to give him just a little bit of water. These are smaller snakes, so I thought this would be a good time to show you the differences. And even that might be a little bit too much water for them. But put this guy in there. If I can keep him in there. So see, there's just a tiny little bit of water in there. So if I put the snake in, it's not, I'm going to have to grab a lid when I do this, then I'll show you. Again, same thing again. I will do, this thing likes my hand. I'll do about an hour in here, then I'll put some Dawn dish soap, and they'll stay for a little bit. So there's the male, he's freaking out, and the female is pretty awesome. She's much bigger. Check her out. Get a close-up of this girl. She's just awesome. I love rat snakes. I've always liked them, and this is kind of, I saw these at the show. Price was fair, especially for a big female like this and a fairly good-sized male. And they're just beautiful snakes. They got real nice yellows on them. Their sides, they range from gray to pink to red on some snakes. And belly's awesome looking. So I'm excited to have these guys here. I'm hoping to do some good things with them in the future. And so that's the show. So we'll come back in a little bit. I'll show you some of the rodents I picked up, how I buy them. I always grab my stuff from Squeals on Rails, Squeals on Wheels, or Rodent Pro. Squeals on Wheels is kind of local to the upper East Coast. And they do, I'm not sure if they go to Tinley yet, but they do a lot of the upper East Coast shows. They give me fair prices, always consistent, so I like them. And let's come back, I'll show you that. Alright everybody, we're back again. Not really sure what I'm showing you with the rats, but this is kind of how I buy my rats. Usually they don't come in these individual bags, they're just a bulk bag. I have a freezer in the back, or I have a couple freezers, and if you're going to do this kind of larger scale, you have to figure out cheaper ways to do things. You have to buy things in bulk. This will last me maybe a month to 2 months, a little bit less, a little bit more. Somewhere around there I got a nice spread of jumbos, large, medium rats, some mice. I don't really feed anything smaller than a small rat. I feel at that point they can just be on mice. This is going to be species dependent, but for the most part, boa constrictors, pythons, all that stuff, it doesn't make a huge difference. So these, this is kind of how I buy them. So I got quite a bit, about $800 worth of feeders. Again, you know, last me about a month or two, and got to keep things fed if you want to breed them. That's the biggest thing about breeding or keeping things healthy in general, is you have to feed them. Just like us, if we don't feed ourselves right, if we don't give ourselves the proper nutrition, then we're not going to be healthy either. So you got to give them some good quality stuff. I've used these guys for years. I really like their stuff. I've used Rodent Pro for years. I say in a lot of my other videos I use them, Perfect Prey, Mice on Ice, all these people, they're all good. They all have equivalent stuff. It's just a matter of going with someone you trust. You will see horror stories on Facebook about buying frozen rodents, but again, as I said in other videos, you know, people say, oh, I got this rodent from Rodent Pro, my snake died. But unless they did a full necropsy on the snake, then there's no way to tell what actually killed the snake. And it's pretty unlikely it was a rodent, especially with some of those larger suppliers like Rodent Pro. My guy Squeals on Wheels is there's kind of a quality control check. They have a reputation to uphold, and they don't need to be sending out bad rodents. They breed them all. Occasionally, I'm sure something would happen, but the odds of getting a bad rodent out of the volume that these guys produce is kind of unlikely, in my opinion. So other solution, breed them yourself. That's the only other way to go for it. I don't have the time or any more space to do massive rodent breeding operation to feed all the snakes I have. I'd almost need a room double the size of what I have and spend double the time just cleaning and breeding the rodents. So that's it. So I'll come back, do a close out of this video, and hope you guys enjoyed the Reptile Show. Keep following, keep subscribing, give me some video suggestions. I got a couple in mind that I'm going to do coming up in the next couple weeks. But keep giving me some suggestions, give me the feedback, and hope you guys enjoyed.